Hi, this is Chrissy Incognito, and welcome to another episode of my channel. This particular episode is going to be labeled Security Guard. Now, you might be wondering why I'm incognito. This is my alter ego that can say things that I cannot otherwise say unless I was incognito. So thank you, and thank you for watching all the other videos. This is very therapeutic to me, and I hope it's helping you as well. So this isn't a guy of mine. This is a guy that has infiltrated my workplace, and I need to talk about it. And everybody at work is talking about it. So let me just say I work in an office, okay? And we have security guards, just for safety, whatnot. There was one security guard that has caused so much trouble that he is worth noting on my channel because this has become a, a saga drama soap opera. Um, okay, so let me back up. Um, this guy is he's probably about my age, so he's probably about 50, and he does not look 50. He is early 40s. Okay, so right off the bat, and I'm speaking for other women out there. Makes him attractive, right? So he's 50 and he looks 40. Okay. I didn't think much about it. I really didn't think much about him. We'll call him Thomas. And the only reason why we're going to call him Thomas is because he has another name of another episode that is about my life. So we're just going to give him some miscellaneous name. So Thomas, right off the bat, something didn't sit right with me. They are supposed to make their rounds through all the offices, just to make sure that everything is on the up and up, nothing is happening, so forth and so on. So every so often, every few hours, we would see the security guards cycle through, check out everything, make sure that everything was secure and nothing inappropriate was happening. I wish I could tell you more about that, but that's all I can tell. And so Thomas would come, okay, and from the very start, I noticed that he was you gotta remember, it's overtime. First he comes up, he's fine. Second time he comes up, he's fine. Third time he comes up, he's fine. Now he's starting to be comfortable with the atmosphere. So now I'm noticing things about him, and he's talking a little bit too much to people. He's being a little too friendly. He's being like the other guards aren't being like this, or they're being friendly to an appropriate point. Okay. And this is over. So I believe he was there for about a year. So this is over weeks and weeks and months and months. So I, you know what? I, I go back to this several times. I go back to the fact that I just tend to size up people. I mean, I'm very interested in analyzing and sizing up and interpreting the environment of what's happening. And then I attribute it to the fact that I'm a single woman, right? And this is going to be significant later on. As a single woman, I feel like, the married women tend to forget what kinds of players, garbage, lurkers, lurkers that are out there, okay? So, I'm suspicious by nature. I'm from the Northeast, suspicious by nature. Instead of naughty by nature, I'm suspicious by nature. So he was coming up, and now our office, has, like, a candy bowl. It's not really significant. I mean, it's not really important, but it's kinda significant to the story. So it has a candy bowl. It has all different kinds of candies, chocolate, sweets, blah, 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 blah. So he comes up and he starts kinda working the room, kind of talking to this one and that one, and I'm like, "Mm." This is inappropriate. First of all, you're a grown man. It's not like you're 25 years old and you have no idea what you're doing and you're just overwhelmed by the amount of women that are in these buildings, okay? So he goes over and I'm working, but every so often I'm catching things and he's starting to talk about that and he's not being aggressive or mean. He's being kind of playful. He's like, "These aren't the kind of chocolates I like." And this I was like, and I remember picking up my head, 'cause you gotta remember at this time, I didn't realize that this was gonna balloon out of control. I picked up my head and I said, "Isn't he demanding? Like we have our chocolates and our candies that we like, and he has the nerve to be like, this isn't my kind. This is not what I like." And when he left, I was like, "Isn't he a little demanding?" You know? And he wasn't mean about it, but it didn't matter. I got the wind of his undertone of it. It was that, why isn't what I like there? Okay. So he was making his way around and making his way around. And again, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. I'm a single woman, so I see things that married women don't see. So then he comes around another day. Now, I already kind of feel that I'm getting it like, like this isn't sitting well with me. Like he's got my antenna, but not in a good way. Like you haven't crossed any boundaries, but I feel like I'm on to you. Okay. So he comes up, he's doing his rounds, and I'm doing my work. So I'm half paying attention. Again, at this point, I don't know that he is what he is. And you'll see that in the episode. So I'm working and everything, and all of a sudden he's addressing the room filled with women, and he's like, "Isn't that right, Chrissy?" And I'm like, "How do you know my name? I never gave you my name. There's no reason why you should know my name." And he kind of like hemmed and hawed and like regrouped because I never introduced myself. Neither did you introduce yourself. Like, why is my name coming off your lips? Right? I didn't know how big this was gonna get. All I know is that there's no like, I'm not a supervisor, I'm not anybody of importance, like, where it's like, "Oh, I need to speak to your supervisor, what's her name?" No, 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 no. There's no reason that my name should be coming off your lips, but this was indicative of him being a massive player. Okay. So, again, I'm I'm in tuned with what's going on, because I know how men act and I know what is appropriate. And again, it's not inappropriate in like a sexual way or anything. It's just like I know how everybody is supposed to act. So one day, me and my coworkers are having lunch, and I was like, "Listen, Thomas, that security guard, I'm not liking him." And they're like, "Oh, you know why?" I said, "He's work every time he does his rounds. He's working the room, he's overly friendly, he's attractive." Now, you might say if he wasn't attractive, would it be the same? Yeah. I'd be like, he's an old man working the room, you know? In this case, he's an attractive man working the room. I mean, I'd still see that. He wouldn't get as far. That's the only difference. So I'm trying to tell my married coworkers, I don't like this. Now he's married. He told, everybody because then once he leaves, people are talking and so I'm getting everything, right? So I'm trying to tell my married coworkers that he's working the room too much. I don't like this. He's trying too hard. Okay. And my married coworkers are like, "He's just being friendly. My husband's friendly. Blah 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with this." Okay. And I said, in my brain, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Nobody wants to hear this. Now it's got to, like, I don't know, dragging husbands into this, or I was like, um so I felt like they were projecting what they might be fearing about their husbands, but whatever. So they were very taken by me saying this. I was like, "I don't like it. He's too friendly. He's going out of his way to find out people's names. He's a little too demanding when he comes up with the chocolate, like, you know." I was like, "I don't know. These are all benign things, but all I know is when I piece them all together, I don't like it." So they kind of shamed me, and I can say this. They kind of shamed me like, "Oh, you don't like men. You're bitter." I don't like bitter people, but seriously, like, they're like, "Oh, you're bitter, you don't like men, you have a problem with men and blah, 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 blah." So at this point, I got a little offended, but I know I love my people, so it wasn't that big a deal. And I sulked a little bit in my brain. And I was like, okay." I was like, "Evidently, they wanna believe whatever they believe, or maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't think I am." They've been out of the real world for such a long time, they don't know what's going on. So I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna share anything inappropriate that is going on with Thomas, the security guard. I am just keeping to myself." So time goes by. And one day, one of my coworkers, my other coworker wasn't there, so it was 3 of us. So in this particular day, it was me and another coworker, and, she's like, "I have to apologize to you," and I'm thinking, "What could you have possibly done to me that you needed to like, I'm thinking, I wanna know what this is, because I can't even imagine why you would be like, "I love you, like, you love me, we're friends." Like, I don't even understand. She's like, "He is working the room. He is inappropriate. He is this." And she's like, "I feel so bad. I just thought the way he was just being friendly." And she's like, "He is out of control." And I said, "Listen, it takes a very big person to apologize." And I said, you didn't have to." I said, "I appreciate that you did." But I said, "You guys have been out of, the dating scene or any kind of scene for so long, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it." And honestly, it doesn't affect you. So for me, I have to be aware of everything because, as George Costanza says, "I'm out there." Right? I'm out there. And as he says to his mother, "You're not out there, I'm out there." Right? So I have to know these things, because when I was in a happy and loving and beautiful relationship, I did not pay attention to these kind of, because it would have nothing to do with them. They were not anywhere, that I would be. But when you're single, you have to constantly play defense. Like, "Oh, this one is being really friendly and sweet and nice. Oh, he has a wedding ring." Or, "This one is this way, this one is that way." So, little by little, everybody, started to see how he was, working and he stopped and talked to every female. It was like he would stand there, we would have lunchtime, and he would stand at a post, and one female after another, we would all be like, "What's wrong with everybody?" I work with a lot of married females, and it makes me even more disgusted on the whole thing, and I'll get into that. I mean, I don't date females, so whatever females do, I can sympathize for men who have to eventually deal with that, but I was just shocked. I was just shocked with the whole behavior.